Welcome to the Monday Night Call, and I'm super excited to introduce tonight's special guest speaker. Now, Meagan is literally someone who's not allowing all the self-development that she does to become shelf development. Over the last 6 months, I've seen Meagan show up like pretty much only I do, to be honest. She's showing up to every call. She's showing up to every training. She's just consuming amazing amounts of content. And I would usually give a really big introduction for someone, but I can't do it without spoiling what Meagan's going to speak about tonight. So listen, grab a cover, get your notebook out, because tonight's going to be awesome. And if you want to get to become a motivated mum or dad, then tonight you're in for a treat. So, Meagan, I'm so grateful that you're on tonight. And yeah, take it away. The floor's yours.
Thank you. So congratulations to everybody for jumping on tonight. I'm super glad to see you all, and thank you. So tonight I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the network marketing industry and what you can do with it if you have a little bit of passion and you lead with your passion. So I don't know if you know, but over 99% of network marketers fail within their first 12 months. However, if you actually treat it as a small business, you have over a 64% chance in your first 12 months of actually successfully making money in your business. So a little bit about me. My story started when I was quite young. I actually became the youngest senior property manager in my local town. So I had pretty big success with that, in that I took a rent roll from 20 properties to well over 250 properties in less than 12 months. So, and where I live is actually like such a small town that's like pretty much like quarter of the town in rentals. so it was pretty big, and I had a lot of success in that. And at one point I was actually out earning my husband, which was pretty big back then. So we're going along, and that was really great, and felt really successful. I felt really powerful in the job, because I'm sure you probably all met at some point in time a property manager who was just a bitch. And it's solely just because she can be a bitch, and she has that sort of power, but it's a power of because she doesn't like her job and she's not passionate about it. And whereas I had the point of difference, because I was actually passionate about it, and I was passionate about building relationships with people, and I treated tenants like they were people as well, not just the owner. Like, I wasn't just solely all about the owner. So yeah, word got out, and even though I was literally the youngest person in the town to be doing it, I had quite a big rent roll. And then I decided that I was going to become a mum. And it was an absolute amazing journey. I worked right up until not long before having bub. And then I actually had a pretty traumatic birth with my first baby. And then I went along and sort of listened to the whole, if you have one, you should have two, so they have a friend for life, and that sort of thing. So I did that. I had a second baby, and my second baby lets me know I'm alive. So, but yeah, and going through the first birth, as I said, was pretty traumatic, and I really lost myself, and I really lost what I thought was my identity, going from being this, successful property manager, and, you walk down the street and people knew who you were, and that sort of thing. And then I was a mum at home with these two beautiful little girls, but I was just like, who am I? is this all there is? Like, am I just a mum now? Like, and so, yeah, so I don't know if you've ever sort of felt of, you know, like you've had this part of you that, you know, was successful and, you know, and up there and you're like, yeah, life's amazing. And, you know, and then you're sort of at home and you're covered in vomit and, you know, like you're sliding down the wall because you're just so freaking tired. And you just get lost. Like, and I was at the point of, and I don't know if you've ever felt it, but I just didn't want to leave the house because I would actually have to talk to somebody. I was just like, no, I can't. I'm not in that headspace. Like, what do I even talk to them about? Like, I'm just like, no, I don't want to deal with this. So I actually ended up getting into a MLM company, and it wasn't so great. I would have failed within the first probably 4 months, I guess. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I actually ended up, you know, doing the whole spent more money than, you know, but I've got to spend this money to make the money sort of thing. And then I stepped into another company, which I thought would be like fantastic. And it was great and it did help me build some confidence. But then I was sort of like, oh, and then I got up to like the top 5% of this company. However, I remember this day, I literally sat on my computer and my phone, and then I borrowed my husband's phone as well. And I sat there from 7 o'clock in the morning to, I think it was about 6 o'clock at night, and I did not move. I literally went to the toilet. I did not move. We had family over and I sat at my computer and I just went, all of this to say that I've made like not even $500. Like, what on earth? And it was a push. It was a struggle, seriously. You know, to bring on team members and that sort of thing. And I was like, you know, and I was pushing who I had as a team to build me up so that I could get there, but it was doing nothing for them. And doing what I was doing, I had absolutely, literally, like, there was no passion in it. I was doing something that was so outside of me. I was like, what the hell? Like, what am I even doing? And so then I lost myself even more. And I'm like, what the heck? So then I met this amazing person through this company. And I can remember the day saying, can you help the lost feel found? And this woman said to me, absolutely. And I went, oh my gosh, cool. So I went on and did a breakthrough through NLP and timeline therapy with the amazing Elizabeth. And I don't know if you've ever felt it, but I'm telling you now, if you haven't, get onto it, because I seriously felt like there was this dark cloak just lifted off me. Like, it just, the light shone. I was able to let go of so much of the shit that was holding me back. And I was like, oh my God. And I can remember saying to her, I just want to be normal. And Elizabeth's going to me, what is normal? And now I'm just like, normal is so fucking boring. I'm sorry, I probably should have warned you that when I start talking about this stuff, it'll come out. So, but it's so boring. And yeah, life's not meant to be boring. So anyway, I had this cloak lifted and I was like, wow, the world is actually really cool. And so then I was like, oh. And then we went on and I was talking to Elizabeth for a while afterwards, and she said to me, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I really don't know. And I actually went back into property management, and all as it did was drain my soul, because it was taking me away from my family again. Like, I would go to work and I had my babies in daycare. and I would go to work and I'd come home and I was just exhausted from the day. Like it wasn't anything against my job or the people I worked with, but I was just exhausted and I had nothing to give them. And my whole purpose in life is to give my family the best of me, not what's left of me. And so I was like, oh, and by the end of it, I was literally feeling sick going to work, like physically sick, like I was going to vomit. And I was like, what's going on with this? Like, why? And so then it happened to pop up that I could do my NLP practitioner's course through Elizabeth. And so I did that in March. And I was like, oh, wow, this is really cool. And Elizabeth's like, yeah, it's time for you to step up and be a coach. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. So went along for a little bit and cruised along. And just recently, I had this massive epiphany hit me. And I was actually driving home in the car. Well, it wasn't even late at night or whatever, but I just had this really funny feeling. And I don't know if any of you have ever had it. However, I had this voice inside my head because like I could actually I was watching the lines on the road like just flick past sort of thing. It was almost like hypnotizing me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this isn't really good at all. And then I had this voice come inside my head and it said to me, if this is the end, what are people going to say about you? And I was like, oh. And I was like, you know what? All is they're going to say is she had so much fucking potential and she did nothing. And I was like, wow, this is so not cool. And it was like, you have such a big legacy and you need to step up and show your girls what this is about. And I was like, oh, okay, right. And I have so many tools in the toolbox and I'm not using any of it. So I was like, holy shit, okay, cool. This is time to step up. So what I'd like you to do is I'm going to share with you the little bits of process, I guess you could call it, of how I've stepped up and gone, okay, cool. These are the tools I have and these are the tools I'm going to use. So the first one is to get in and list your top 3 values in life. What are the top 3 things? You can list more if you want, but for me, I've just found 3 that just absolutely light me up, and that's my everything. If you list your top 3 values in life, and so then what you'll do is you will actually be able to go back into those values and you will inspire yourself every single day. Because your inspiration isn't going to come from outside all the time. You're not going to be completely motivated all the time. However, if you step back into those values and you look into those values and ask yourself, what am I about? What tools do I have? What can I use? You're going to inspire yourself every day. And do that. Do it with your passion. And lead with your passions in your life, which comes under your values as well. And then the next thing to do that I've done is to sit down, listen to some motivating music, and or you can do it now, like whatever it feels right for you, and actually list what you want and just go absolutely berserk. Just write down the biggest dreams, the biggest hopes, and what you want to do in life. And actually really focus on what you want. So those 2 processes for me was able to give me like massive clarity. And it was once I stepped into massive clarity that I've gone, well, okay, cool. And I was able to actually focus on exactly who I wanted to work with in my coaching business and in my MLM in Juice Plus. So I'm actually able to combine that, the two of them, and it works phenomenally. So when you're leading with your passions, and mine is family, health, and lifestyle. They're my biggest passions in life, and that's what drives me every day. And so I know that there's motivated mums out there, and dads, obviously. However, at this point in my life, I want to work with motivated mums. And if you can focus on the market that you really, really want to work with and lead with your passion, it becomes so simple. And you'll just want to keep doing more because you want feeling of more of that, because it lights you up so much. And it's not going to feel hard because like attracts like. And so you're working with the people that you actually want to work with. You're not fishing with this huge big net and just catching anything. You're actually fishing with a rod with the right bait to target who you want to target. Sorry, I love fishing, just in case you didn't know. So instead of having all this, like, yes, you'll catch, but it'll be hard and it'll weigh your net down. Whereas if you can select your bait and target and focus on that, then that becomes simple, and they inspire you to get out of bed every day. And it's not hard work. It becomes simple. So yeah, leading with your passion is the key with it. And to target and to actually focus on it, and stop looking to make everybody happy, because it's not going to work. Focus on you and what makes you happy and what lights you up, so then you can shine the light for others. So I hope that's helped. Yeah, so I would absolutely love for you to do that. Have a focus in on your values, focus in on what you're actually passionate about, and focus in on what's actually your target market. And so then that way you will lead with your passion, and you can do anything. It's absolutely amazing when you lead with that and you actually focus on what you want. That's my key.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm curious, like, for those that may not have done much coaching or anything like that, how do people like find their values? Like, what is there? Like, what specific question do you use, or like to get the values out, to do the values process? Maybe we could do that.
I just sort of looked in for me. I just got like a really big sheet of paper, and I just wrote out like what was the most important things in my life. My family is first and foremost. My husband and my kids are like my world. Obviously, I'm first because I know that to give them the best of me, I need to fill me up first. And yeah, and it's just the things that are like the most important to you in your life. Making money might be the most important thing to you in your life. Like, there's no right or wrong with it. It's just the things that mean the most to you, and that you do that. You just sit there and you're just amazed by it, and you love it, and you're passionate about it.
I really love what you said there. And I just want to emphasize on what you mentioned there, because you just brushed over really quickly. You put yourself first. So as a mum of an amazing couple of young girls and an amazing wife, and you're running two businesses now, you still put yourself first. Is that right?
Yeah.
Have you always done that?
Not always, but since like it's really taken off and been really successful. Yes, most definitely. And I do believe that's really definitely the key, because you can't pour from an empty cup. You literally just can't. And if you're even connecting like with the people that you want to make team with, or that's your customers or that sort of thing, how can you give them the passion and the commitment if you don't give it to yourself first? You've got to fill yourself up first to be able to pour out into others.
Yeah, that's a game changer. What I found is if you're running around with your hair on fire and you're looking like an empty husk, no one's going to want that, because, like, look, we've all got the same product to sell, right? And people, if you're looking like you've got no energy and you're ragged and you're broke and all those kind of things, and it's not much fun, people already got that, right? They don't need more of that. They can find that themselves. They could probably sell you some of that. So, like, it's really important to, like, do what you said and fill your cup up first, which, like, I'd love to hear some ways that you do that outside of, like, maybe elaborate on that a little bit. What do? You said you love fishing. How do you honor yourself in a way that fills your cup up?
The various different ways, and it's different for everybody, obviously. For me personally, I really like yoga, the movement of my body, but then also the rest time after that. I think a lot. My brain runs all the time, like it runs and runs and runs. And so yoga is really good because it pushes you into a space of that you push your body to the limit, and then you learn to stop and breathe, and then you just push that little bit more, and you just keep pushing that little bit more, and you're like, oh wow, okay, cool, yeah. When I actually let go, it does it. We go out in the boat all the time. I go for a walk in the ocean as much as possible, because as soon as that first wave rolls up on your feet, it just seems to just wash everything out. And yeah, there's so many ways that you can do it, and it comes back into your values too, I guess, in that it's whatever you feel most passionate about, and however that it'll bring you into a sense of peace, but also a moving peace as well, because if you're not moving, then you're pretty much dead, really. That you've got to move. You just got to move in life, and it doesn't matter how you do it, whether you're moving your mind, your body, or your breath. Play with your breath, and breathe in, hold it for 5, breathe out, hold it for 5. Just make space in there, and and whatever lights you up, whatever makes you happy, however you can feel joy, do at least 5 minutes of it a day. At least.
Great. Like you found yoga, correct me if I'm wrong, because you were searching for a way to fill your cup, and you tried meditation and you just didn't really it wasn't your jam. You didn't really find it relaxing. You actually found it a bit frustrating. So you persevered with it for a while, and then you moved to yoga. So you didn't muck around with what didn't work. You just moved on until you found something that did work, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing of it, I believe, is that, you've just got to keep going until you find something that works. And when it'll really click, and you'll just go, oh, yeah, cool, this feels really good. And whether it is a gym session, or whether it is a walk, or whether it is a run, however it feels good, and you'll know, because you get the downloads as you're doing it, and you'll go, oh wow, oh yeah, okay, cool. You'll have those moments. Yeah,
it sounds like you've really found, like, the big change for you was you stopped worrying about what you should be doing, what everyone else thinks. Oh, look, Meagan, you should be meditating, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should, and you're just doing what feels right for you. You're really listening to what's right for you, and like how, like I'm assuming like that wasn't always that way. Like how, if someone is listening to this feeling like they'd like to listen to their feelings more, like how can they block out the noise and sort of like, have you got a strategy around letting go of the shoulds and doing what's right for you? Like how would you help your clients do that, for example?
I guess it comes back into tapping into your values, and focusing on what you actually want in life, and stop trying to make everybody happy. Focus on what makes you happy, because if you're happy in your heart and your soul, then it's going to flow on to others. You will attract your tribe through doing that. And yeah, and it's just a matter of, honestly, just stop doing shit you hate. I'm sorry to put it so blunt, but it's just a matter of you stop doing shit you hate because you think that you should. Because as soon as you stop doing that and you actually go, well, I actually really hate that, I need to try something different, and open the box of possibility and step into it and go, well, okay, cool. Let's try this. Let's try that, and go from there.
Yeah, great strategy. I love that. So like if someone was at rock bottom, what's the first step you'd recommend them to get back to a purposeful life? You know, like before you said that you'd really lost your voice, and I think that's really common, a common thing that we come across a lot. You know, how would you help a mum that's at rock bottom make a move back to a purposeful life?
Like I said, it comes back to filling up your cup first, and actually, you know, finding out what does bring them joy, and outside of their children. You know, we as mums, we pour so much into our kids and we do so much for them, and we tend to lose sight of what actually makes us happy, and yeah, and what we're passionate about. For such a long time, like I was like, I just don't have anything that I'm passionate about. I don't know. I just don't know who I am, and it was a day that my mum actually said to me, she's like, you know, because my husband has his boat and we have the boat, and she actually said to me one day, because he loves it, like you would believe, and my mum turned around and said to me, she's like, but you love it just as much as he does. I was like, you know what, I actually do. And it was letting go of the whole, you know, oh, the wife shouldn't like going fishing because that's a bloke's thing to do. And I was like, oh, I actually really love it, and my kids really love it too. And, you know, we get out and we go and play on sandbars and that sort of thing. It's not always hardcore fishing. It's, you know, and it is. It's just finding just even something very, very little, like that lights you up just that little bit, and then just build on it, amplify it, and go and do more of it. And yeah, so that was my way of doing it, is that, yeah, I did my breakthrough, as I said, to help find what was holding me back. And then, yeah, doing a breakthrough, letting go of the stuff that is holding you back, and then start looking for the things which are in your values of that light you up, and tap into that more.
That's amazing. Guys, like in the chat, like be brave and type in something that you would love to be doing more of, that is part of your values, that you're probably not doing as much because you think you should do it later, or you shouldn't be doing that right now. Like, yeah, share it. Like, I know there's people in here that love rollerblading, and they go rollerblading because they act. It sounds very similar to your story, actually. But yeah, there's lots of things like, yeah, that people like to do, you know. So yeah, do them now. Like, what are you waiting for? So there's a question in the chat, like, So there's only 2 people that want to do stuff. Nikki, dancing. That's great. Christine wants to yes. Yeah, she's a yes girl. I know. I'm just being a smart aleck. How did you build your Juice Plus business? How did you attract your tribe? Was it on social media? Like,
yeah, definitely on social media. And with it, I focused on the people that I actually want to work with, instead of being just hoping that anybody would come along and trying to, please people in that. And because there's so many benefits to using Juice Plus, with weight loss and with energy and all of that sort of stuff. But focus on the particular people that you want to work with. For me, it's like the energy, but also the bonus of that children can have the choose as well. So it's, talking to mums about that and saying, well, hey, not only can we get you going better and getting more nutrition into you, we can also benefit your children. So it's about attracting your tribe, but really, really focusing on the particular people you want, or the particular market you want to meet with and work with. Really focus on that, because it's when you're attracting people that you don't want to work with, it becomes difficult. And like for me to attract somebody that wants to be done up in high heels and and drink champagne and that sort of thing, I'd just be like, yeah, no, sorry. I have no clue of how to connect with somebody like that. But there is most probably, I don't know how many people in the world that would connect with that, and that's their tribe. And so for me, I don't know, maybe it's just the fishing mums. So, but yeah, it's a matter of actually attraction marketing, and focusing on the kinds of people that you really want, and just posting about that on Facebook, and be present every day, and just show up and do lives if you're comfortable with doing lives. If you're not, push yourself. Make yourself comfortable with lives, because as soon as you hit that go live button, you've got to do it.
amazing. And all these great things like the dancing, the painting, the meeting hot men. I'm really struggling not to do a dad joke here because it's pretty hot up here in Queensland at the moment. Oh, God. Yeah. Geez, Simon. Come on, man. You got to back me up. Bad dad jokes. Anyway, guys, just ask the question, what has to happen to bring this into my world right now? Ask yourself really great questions. There's people like Linda Evening that, all the training she teaches us to ask better questions. And instead of just making a statement why you can't have that now, or asking why, or thinking why you have to wait or you should wait, we're not, ask what has to happen to make this happen sooner, like now. Like as a coach, you get these big goals for people and you're like, I wonder what that 12-month goal would look like if you could do that in a month. You just see people get emotional about it. So, yeah.
The one question that I've really learnt to ask lately is not how can I, how will I?
Yeah. There you go.
How will I make it happen?
That's a mic
not
drop.
How can I make it happen, but how will I make it happen?
Yeah. That's a great one, because I often say when people say, I can do that, I'm like, I know you can do it, but will you do it? And they're like, oh, he means business. Yeah. Yeah, the chat's just gone off on a different tangent. They're going to be going to some website that we shouldn't be on, as I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. I'm totally not even reading it.
This is jumping into a different yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, back to our regular scheduled program. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
That's a good one. I don't know. It's not.
Your superpower is not knowing things.
Well, maybe.
Okay, if you could pick any superpower, what would it be?
I don't know, maybe to fly.
There you go. It's a good one. And it'd be easy in putting the boat in because you just fly out and fish wherever you want. There you go. Okay, if you were queen of the universe and you were queen of the world, what would be
I am of mine.
great if you were like literally if you were like the head of the world? When it's one government, you're the like president of the world. What would be the first law you would change? What would you change about the world?
I don't know. I'm so in my own little bubble.
Come on, well, what would you change in your town? If you didn't, I'm going to have to go NLP on you. I know you don't know, but if you did know, what would it be? Yes, I do remember some stuff, Liz.
Yeah. That's a good question. Like, because, yeah, you got me stumped on that one. I don't know.
So what is it in the world that you'd like to change? Like, what would your message to the world be then?
I would like to change, if I possibly could, that people would have to do something that fills up their cup at least once a week.
Woo!
At least.
That's a great law. And what would their punishment be? Or the life they're living already? There you go.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously, this has been great. I'm really digging these real calls on Monday. Like it's sensational. And thank you so much for jumping on and sharing your story. And like this is like if we were dropping mics on this, we wouldn't have any mics left. That was so great. And thank you so much, everyone. Share your gratitude for the most amazing Meagan. She's leading the way for all of us.